Welcome to this month's VocabVoyage vocab run through. The difference this month is all the words are from this article, one article only. And they're all in order in this article as they're listed. You can find them in the article in the same order, easy for you. Other difference, no Japanese. If you don't have to read the Japanese, listen to me, you've got the list of words so you can do it that way. Okay, so let's start. Japanese architecture and why the whole world is interested in it. Okay, here we go. The first word, reinterpret. To reinterpret is to look at something and look at the way it was and then work out what people want, what it should be. So the Japanese architects have reinterpreted what people want. People used to want big buildings but now they want nature, so they've reinterpreted what people want. Next word, predecessor. Predecessor is means before. So a predecessor is the person who comes before. You've got these Japanese architects now who are re-evaluating what their predecessors thought was important. So predecessor, person who comes before. Obama's predecessor was George W. Bush. Yeah? Okay. Edifice. An edifice is a building. It's a building, it's a structure. Edifice means big. An edifice is big, large. Define. Define is to show the meaning of. If you want to define a word or find the definition of a word, you look in the dictionary. In this article, the architecture that the Japanese architects, they define beauty, you look at their things, well, that's beautiful. That defines beauty for me. So define means to show the meaning of something. Incorporate. Incorporate is to bring into. The Japanese architects, they incorporate sunlight. So sunlight becomes one. They bring it in and they join it into something. If one company incorporates another company, it buys it and it brings it into the company. So to incorporate is to bring in. So the Japanese architects incorporate space, they incorporate sunlight, they incorporate art, they incorporate many things in their architecture designs. Trademark. A trademark is you look at something, you think, hey, I understand. A trademark, what are Japan's trademarks? Sushi is a trademark of Japan. Cars are a trademark of Japan. Kiwi fruit are a trademark of New Zealand. The All Blacks are a trademark of New Zealand. So a trademark is something you can look at and you know, belongs to that. Trademark of Japanese architecture is very bare, very sparse, not much there, very, very clean. But they're reinterpreting it. Sensibility. The senses are sight, hear, smell, touch, feel. So sensibility is appealing to the senses. When you walk into a room and you think, oh, this room is so beautiful. I like the colors, I like the space. It's got sensibility. It's appealing to your senses. Oriented. Oriented means meant for. VocabVoyage is oriented towards people with a higher level English, whereas Japanese architecture is oriented towards people with taste and flavor who like classy stuff. You get a big, we call it a station wagon in New Zealand, a big car, like the, what do they call that? The big people mover. They're oriented towards families, whereas sports cars are oriented towards young single couples who don't need much space. Innovative. Innovative means brand new, and innovation is a noun which means brand new. When the Toyota Prius was released 15 years ago. It was an innovation. It was innovative. It was brand new thinking. Japan's big on innovation. Japan's big on innovative things. And now the Japanese architects are being innovative in their thinking. New ideas, new ways. Potent. Potent means very powerful, very strong. On the bad side of potent, back to last month, Ebola is very potent. Strong alcohol is very potent. Japanese, in the article, the Japanese, they mentioned the two most potent brands are food and architecture. Very powerful, everyone knows about them, especially Japanese food. Who doesn't like Japanese food? So potent means powerful, strong. A motive. A motive is, it's a pattern. It's a pattern, but it's especially a repeating pattern, like the whole wall covered. Tiles are often tile motives. If they crisscross pattern over the whole wall, that's a motive, where they've stuck the same pattern and made a large picture out of it. Sprawling. Sprawling means large and big. Tokyo is sprawling. Osaka is sprawling. Many cities in China are sprawling, but not big and orderly. Big and wow, it's just spread out, so it's spread out all crazy, crisscross. If you go to Tokyo, it's everywhere and it's just got big. That's sprawling. Complex. Complex is an adjective, means difficult, but that's for another day. In this list, complex is a noun and it means a big building, construction, structure. There's a new shopping complex in Sapporo, Akarenga, and it's just open. It goes from down Ekimai Chikadori, and it's got a big building and 6 floors of shopping. So that's a shopping complex, a new complex. A lattice. A lattice is a structure that's like crisscross, metal or wood, or metal, wood, mainly metal and wood. That's a crisscross pattern. The Chinese Olympics, their big stadium, the bird nest they called it, it had a lattice of metal crisscross. A structure. Structure is a noun. It means a building. It means something that's constructed. Yeah, very simple structure. You know, in America, the little beavers, they chop down trees and they build a dam. That's a structure. Buildings are structures. Stadiums are structures. Anything that's built is a structure. Philosophy. Philosophy in this article is Zen philosophy. Philosophy is the beliefs behind something. Zen philosophy, they're looking for enlightenment, they're looking for peace. It's the things which drive. Philosopher is a person who studies philosophy. Philosophical is an adjective. It means philosophy. Stark. Stark means very bare, not much there. Traditionally, Japanese architecture, which they're looking back, these new architects, it's very stark. There's not much there. If you go into the room, it's almost cold. There's a table with one ikebana and 2 paintings on the walls. Maybe the kanji for road or something. It's very, not much there, very stark. Aesthetic. Aesthetic. Aesthetic, it's hard to explain this one. An aesthetic is the looks. If something is aesthetic, it looks good. The aesthetics of traditional Zen, the aesthetics of traditional Japanese architecture, I mentioned before, very bare, very sparse, very stark, not much there. The aesthetics of European. Old European were columns and lots of colours and paintings, and the aesthetics is the looks behind something. Each different thing has different aesthetics. If something is aesthetic, it looks nice. Adept. Adept means skillful. If you're adept at something, you're good at it. Hopefully at present I am being adept at explaining all these new words to you. There you go. You are becoming very adept at English, I'm sure. Cramped. Cramped or semi. Cramped means not much room to move. In Tokyo, it's very cramped. The apartments are very small. If you go to a business hotel in Tokyo, you go into the bathroom, it's very cramped. You can't spread your arms out. So the architects are working towards turning cramped spaces into more aesthetic, more visually pleasing, more sensibility about it. Cramped, semi. Elegant. Elegant means it looks good, it looks classy, it looks nice. Princess Diana was very elegant. If you go into a nice hotel, it's very elegant. The aesthetics are very nice. Yeah, so elegant means nice. Monument. A monument is big. It's something big. It's a structure. It's something big. Monument means big. Monumental is an adjective which means big. The tsunami was a monumental time in Japan, very big. So a monument is something, a structure which is very big. Statue building. Toka. Backlash. A backlash is when people fight back and say no. At the moment there's a backlash towards the predecessors' ideas of architecture, big buildings, cold stuff. So now the people are saying, no, we want more light, we want more space, we want more aesthetics. There was a backlash, and there's still a backlash I saw on the news this morning against TEPCO. Yeah? There was a backlash after the tsunami. Spiral. Spiral is this pattern. Spiral, spiral, spiral. A spiral, it's a pattern which goes round, round, round. If something spirals out of control, it goes up, 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 up. If a plane spirals down, it goes down, 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 down. Utilize. Utilize is to use something as it is. If you utilize sunlight, you use the sunlight to make the room nice and bright. If you utilize space, if you're in a cramped area, it's important to utilize the space. So design it so you use what space you have. I'm utilizing this iPad at the moment. Statuesque. You see the word statue in there? Yep, statue. Statuesque. The statuesque is like very beautiful. Like the Guggenheim is statuesque. It's an art gallery, yes, but if it wasn't, it looks very nice anyway. It could be a statue. The new Japanese Olympic Stadium, they intend on making it statuesque. Very pretty, very beautiful. Idiosyncratic. Whoa, that's a big one. Idiosyncratic. An idiosyncrasy is just a peculiar, something which I have an idiosyncrasy. My idiosyncrasy, when I go into a restaurant with my wife, the very lovely Akiko, I have to sit with my back to the wall. I can't. If I'm sitting with my back to the restaurant, I just can't do it. And it irritates Akiko so much. But that's an idiosyncrasy of mine. Something which refers to me, which is just me. And which like defines me kind of. And so that's idiosyncratic, meaning you have idiosyncrasies. Fuse. To fuse is to join, so it's not going to come apart again. If there's a electrical short circuit, if the electrics they fuse together. Okay, so to fuse, they fuse the sunlight, they fuse the the different elements into the architecture so it becomes one. Spherical. Spherical means round. The earth is a sphere. The biosphere is a sphere. It's a round shape, okay, like a ball. Artistry. Artistry is what artists use. The Japanese sushi chefs, they are very good and they cut, they're nice, it looks very beautiful. They have artistry. It's what you use to produce art. Artistry is something you've got, which is a skill. The Japanese architects use their artistry and aesthetics and philosophy, and they incorporate and fuse all these things to make beautiful buildings, which are in demand all around the world. If you have time, look up Shigeru Ban. He designed the new cathedral in Christchurch after the earthquake, and it's made of cardboard. Pretty cool. And that is that for Japanese architecture. You can find all the words on here in order. Have fun studying that, and thank you.